Hell no. And then you realize the dog just starts like walking from behind her. Never mind.
I saw this lady. She was holding a dog the other day. I'm like, I can't even pretend she's cute. She looks insane.
That's your boy.
I never had a birthday party.
You got that going. I got
For real?
that going. You guys are awesome. Have fun.
Awesome. Yeah, bud.
What's up, guys? I'm Joe Vargas, and this is Magniente Duarte.
Magz.
Maggie. I'm sorry, though. We have a lot to talk about, and we have nothing to talk about
At the same time.
So, I don't even know where to start.
Where should we start? Well, we don't have a guest today, as you can see.
We'll have one appear soon.
Yeah, working on it.
I was watching all kinds of shit. I should have watched boxing, but I didn't see Fundora one.
Yeah.
He got a 4th round TKO. Congrats to him. I seen
Which
was this the kid's name from that fought Sosa, the champion?
Yes.
Xander.
I was just about to say, may I interject?
Yeah,
he says that
course.
he's down to fucking fight Zayas, and Zayas was there, and they did like a little face-off. What do you think about that fight?
I think that'll be a really good fight. I think I first commend both of them.
Yeah.
Because they're both young, they're both in their prime, and they both are willing to fight each other. I mean, shit. Fundora already fought fucking he fought Zoo, and he fought somebody else before. I'm trying to think of the other name.
He fought Brian Mendoza, and that's
when he lost. But those are big fights.
Yeah, they are.
And I think there's another fighter, I can't remember right now who he fought, that was pretty good. And Xander has been moving slowly, but they've been, I haven't seen him fight. I think that right now I would lean towards Fundora.
His past fight was a good test for him. However, I think that it would be good for him to fight kind of like a Bohachuk, like the guy who fought Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
Gave him a tough fight.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be ideal for him. If he gets the Fundora fight, that'd be great. But yeah, I'd be.
That's some talent at that way, huh? Virgil
Yeah,
Ortiz is there too.
Yep.
Wow.
It's getting good. That division's getting good. I like it.
If they were to fight right, I know it's not going to happen right away. I would go with Fundora.
Yeah, me too. Right now, yes, I would.
If Xander's getting better.
Yeah.
Getting way better.
He is. But Fundora does have that edge of he has championship experience already,
Yeah.
So I still want to see it. Fuck it.
So I didn't
make it happen.
So I didn't watch the fights, and I felt
Me
bad.
neither.
My ass started watching soccer.
Let's go.
But I would yesterday's game. I didn't. That wasn't Saturday, so I can't make an excuse for myself.
Very Mexican of you.
On Sunday, I watched a soccer game because Mexico was in the finals against Panama, and Mexico won. And you brought up a great point. Like, we're talking about how the women's soccer in the U.S. is way better than the men's soccer. Because the USA soccer men's team is pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
But for the last 20, 30 years, I think the girls been carrying the guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I know more female players than I do the men's players, and they do get a lot of traction, especially around World Cup time.
And it sucks that the females don't get that love. I don't see them getting love in the WNBA.
Yeah.
There's a football league, but they put the girls in Daisy Dukes, and that's kind of like
unnecessary. I think.
Unnecessary.
Like, why does it have to be that way? You know what I mean? Why can't we just appreciate the athleticism and whatnot? Not to mention, also the women's team has won way more World Cups. Yes, it's different, but hey, wins are wins, man.
Wins are wins for your country and honor.
Yep. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's about our country winning, and the USA soccer they've been carrying the men's team, and they don't get the love. And I was telling Maggie that, I was telling you that it feels like women boxing is probably the best way to get on the spotlight, or UFC, even the girls MMA.
Yes.
Because the women, they don't get probably what they deserve still, but they get the spotlight and they get the respect. I guess it's just, there's not in the fight world. There isn't enough good females.
Mm-hmm. Which, speaking on that, Juju told me this morning, and I haven't verified if it's true or not, that Alicia Baumgartner has signed with Jake Paul's promotion, MVP, which is who Amanda Serrano is with. Which, I'm not a fan of his. However, Serrano's been around for a long time, and it wasn't till she jumped on that promotion that She started getting a lot of recognition with that one fight with fucking Katie Taylor. 2 fights now, going on to the 3rd. So hopefully we see fucking Alicia get some
big fights,
some big fights, because she's good. I'd say that she's my favorite female fighter for sure.
Sure is. She's good.
She's good.
She's with. I don't know if she's still working with my boy Nelson Lopez, but he was actually he was telling me he was going to bring her to San Diego to train with us.
I remember you mentioned that,
and I was like, who? And then Bashir goes, "Oh, she's good."
Yeah,
like, but it never happened.
She's good.
They want her to sit down a little more. They wanted me to help her work inside the trenches, but it never happened.
Man, yeah, that'd be an experience.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, if she ever makes it down over here, she can come to the gym and train or something like that for a couple days. That'd be pretty rad. Which, man, that's gonna what?
I'm just thinking about.
I was thinking about the boxing club.
oh, it's a sad day in San Diego.
Sad day.
I think one of the gyms here in San Diego. I think there's 4 gyms in San Diego, the boxing club. They shut down.
Yeah,
they shut down, and it's sad because there's a lot of people that love the sport and don't have nowhere to go. There's a lot of find a gym that you really like and do some research. And go check them out here locally in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they try to expand too fast. I don't know I don't know what happened, but
it seems like that might be it.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
You went there. Remember, you went there for a little bit. And
yep, I had a feeling something. And I was just like,
she jumped off the ship. She jumped off. She was like one of the guys
before
at the Titanic.
Up.
Yeah, she jumped off the Titanic before it left the port.
That I was literally about to say, I'm like one of the like fucking Rockefellers.
JP
I was
Morgan.
like, I'm gonna stay back.
Yeah, but regardless, it's I almost went over there. I didn't go over there. They offered.
I remember
they made me an offer, and I was like, you know what? That's not my atmosphere. It's not my place. But they had a good little thing. They had a lot of the fighters going over there because of it looked nice. It was in downtown. You know, the chandelier, bougie. That's the word. But yeah, I mean, they're down, and I seen like 5 people today from that gym sign up at our gym. So they all liked it. This is real boxing. Like, motherfucker, what do you think it is?
It's definitely a
ballet
couple,
shit.
Yeah, it's a couple steps up from what
I said. Wait till Friday. I told him.
That's
as boxing as you get. I asked you to, because we were going to elaborate on a lot of things, but I was like, hey, you got to watch that podcast with Rosado and Bill Haney. And what do you think about that?
Man, I'm only like maybe 10, 15 minutes in, but it's good so far because there's very good points being made, I guess, on both sides. But, you know, Gabe mentioned something that was huge that I hadn't even thought about, right? And it's him saying, man, you sued Ryan Garcia, right, for battery in a combat sport, right, first and foremost. And then you turn around and you're now on his undercard. That is probably the biggest, like, holy shit moment for me because it's funny how I hadn't even thought about that. But
remember we talked about who was going to come out first?
Right.
I was like, who's going to be the first fight? Because it's
Ryan
against
Rolly.
And then
I think it's going to be Teofimo against Barbosa.
So Ryan is the main event?
Ryan's the main event. And they put a belt up, but it's not an actual championship. The other two are fighting for a world championship. Like, they are the champions. So but he's the cash cow, man. That's why.
At the end of the day, it's not the titles. It's what the eyes that you turn on. And that's why I don't even elaborate on this guy so much. But Jake Paul, he gets to do what he wants because he has eyes.
Yeah.
He has the eyes that nobody taps into. The kids from the Midwest and fucking kids, people just randomly, you know, people that like his blogging or whatever you call it.
Yeah. I remember Clarissa mentioned that. She was like, yo, how is this dude just going to come in and do what he's doing? And meanwhile, we're putting all this work, you know, our whole lives. And pretty much she opened up a new perspective. It's like, maybe I just got to get more active on fucking my social media.
If you want to be a great fighter, you have to be married to the game.
Mm-hmm.
You have to train 4 hours a day, nonstop the day. And then when you're not training, you're going to be resting.
Right.
And you can't go out there and create content to create content, you have to be a job.
Yeah.
So Jake did that for years.
Right.
Created a big ass platform and he's been getting away with what he's doing because he's fighting nobodies.
Yeah.
But if he was to fight fighters, he wouldn't be who he is now.
Yeah.
But I commend. The only way I was thinking, Joe, how can you give Jake Paul a pass?
Yeah.
And my head is spinning and spinning and spinning because he's making so much money off fighting non-boxers except for one, right? And one old ass one. And in my head, I was thinking, how can I like Jake Paul? How can I like Jake Paul? And I'm in the thinking like he makes so much money, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fighters. Like one is Gerald McCullum. He had suffered a brain injury. There's the kid out of Preacher Colon.
Yes.
If he was to give these kids, these fighters, $500,000 of all the money he's making, or fighters that have died that created 100,000, I would love him. I would like him because he's taking care. Gerald McCullum, Preacher Colon, those are just two that come to the top of my head. There's a lot of fighters out there that are never going to be the same.
Yeah.
That gave their life on the line for fighting, and they're not taken care of.
Right.
If he was to just give those guys like a little bit of love and show them some, even a GoFundMe for them because he has the platform, I would be like, okay, I'm Jake Paul. I know he's not a fighter, but I respect him.
Yeah,
I respect him. But he's making so much money of the sport, and he is signing. From what I understand, he's signing fighters like the young lady, and he's giving them a great platform and making them a lot of money. But there's a lot of people who suffered.
Right.
Like gain some fans by helping out fighters like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe he is, but they're that's not out there. And fuck. I don't know. I don't know anything like that. That he does that sort of I want to call it humanitarian, but if you really want to help the sport, just like he was talking shit on MMA, right? Like MMA fighters, this and that. Okay, well then fucking let's make something happen to where you're helping these guys reach that fucking platform, right? And then make some money. You know what I mean? Why not? And, that's something that Gabe mentioned too, or I don't know, the podcaster, right? He said that Ryan, we thought that he was a fucking TikTok boxer or TikTok star. It's like, no, dude, like, I don't know.
I seen Ryan with his brother and his dad and his mom. His mom was an official in LA, so was his dad a referee and an official. I would see him at every fucking show since he was a little kid. Yeah. That's not a podcaster. That's not a fucking YouTuber.
Fucking Instagrammer.
He's actually like the Jake Paul reverse.
Yeah.
He actually boxed his whole life and became a YouTuber.
Yep. Which and to an extent, you're right, man. Like boxing is so consuming, and not in a bad way, but you have to give it. It's your life, like you said. You're married. You're married to the game,
sport.
Right? Very jealous. So, it's challenging trying to create content and shit like that. But it's absolutely a lifestyle, and it reminds me last week when you told Danny how, hey man, this is a lifestyle, and Kyle was there, and he's like, yeah, dude, that's it. It really is.
You can't be taking time off. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that because the sport will tell you, fuck you. You can't be like, hey, I'm gonna take today off because you'll pay the price. The gym, the boxing game is evil. You stay up late, you'll pay the price. You stay up with your girlfriend all night, you'll pay the price. You drink a lot, you'll pay the price.
Yep.
This sport is brutal, and I don't know why I love it, but they do.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much you could see progression in, like, for example, like I mentioned to Javin last week, 1 month. Don't come to the gym for 1 month and come back and see the people who are here every single day.
You up.
They'll pass you up. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy to watch. Progression, it happens so quick.
So your thoughts on Rosado and Haney? Did you hear when he said I didn't see the whole podcast. I saw highlights on it, but he's basically calling him like a bitch, and I don't like to call another man that unless we're about to fight, so I'm not gonna call him that. But that was really a weird thing that Bill and his son did. I'm involving Bill because Bill's he's
like a spokesperson.
I wonder if Devin would make those decisions without his dad.
Right.
And Devin, to me, like manly, like thinking like a man, like I look at boxing like a gang mentality. Like it's like you're gang banging and your gang is yourself. And he basically got whatever you want to say. He lost in the fight or he didn't lose. It was a no contest. But regardless of the decision, he got his ass whooped. Yeah. He got dropped. I don't know how many times. Then he sues the dude. He sues him and he loses in court. And he loses because you can't get battery in a boxing match, right? Let's touch on the ostrichen, whatever the hell it's called, ostrich or whatever. What's it? Ostrich?
Ostrin.
Ostrin. Thank you. That's why Maggie helps me with my Spanglish. The quantity that they found in him was tiny.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even help him.
Yeah.
All the tests before that, he was clear.
Yeah.
And the test after that was clear. It was a couple of weeks after that he came back dirty. I don't know. It's sketchy to me. But anyways, the number that he had of it wouldn't have gave him an
advantage. Yeah.
Advantage. So now Haney has to fight before him, get paid under him, because the top fights are the money breaks down.
Right.
So he's taking the scraps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's they might say, well, we're negotiating a contract. Well, you are. But it starts from the top down. You know what I mean? And it looks like all he wanted was the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. They're holes for the bag. That's fucked up.
And you know what? Like, I was thinking about Rosado, right? I kept thinking about Gabriel Rosado. He's out there defending, talking, but he's entitled to talk shit.
He's a fighter, yeah.
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
And he's not just a fighter. He's a fucking warrior.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a warrior. And I can't really remember that many Devin Haney fights, except for, I think, Linares against Haney. I can't really think of that many fights, but I can remember a lot of Rosado's fights.
Yeah.
And I think Rosado has 17 losses. Mm-hmm. But that just shows me a guy who got into the game kind of late and would fight anybody. Mm-hmm. And that's how he fights. I've never seen him wear. I've seen him lose, get cut, get beat up. But you can't tell that he's been wearing out. Mm-hmm. They brought him in to fight Beck, and he fucking KO'd him.
Yeah.
You know?
A young fucking...
He was giving Munguia a run for his money.
Yeah, he was.
He was giving Munguia a little scare.
Yep.
So, a shout out to Gabriel Rosado, man. He's a true warrior, and he's just saying what is on his mind, and I respect that, man. I respect that. Coming from a guy like him who has never had a silver spoon.
And what do you think about him saying that there's a code, right? Because it's not written in stone, but, as a, boxer coming from somebody who's actually competed, what do you think about that? Him talking about that code that he was saying that there's when you're a fighter, you signed up to fight. Like he mentioned, this isn't the NBA, this isn't the MLB, this ain't that. You're fighting. What do you think about that?
The unwritten code?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You go to we've been to other gyms. Mm-hmm. We know what gloves we're wearing without even asking them.
Right.
It's a code.
Yeah.
We know what to do. We know how to do it. It goes from that to a real fight. There's a code. We go by it. We don't speak it. We just do it.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely correct. The way Haney handled that, he was talking about Cotto went in and fought again.
Right.
And somebody else.
He was talking about Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, when he got cut, when he was in the fight, he went and got his win. But those guys, Cotto's not that far away. I mean, it just happened maybe 20 years, 15 years ago.
This past generation,
he's seen it. They've seen it.
Yeah.
They've seen it live. You know? And to see warriors like that, and then see somebody sue somebody, was kind of weird.
Yeah,
for me
that
too,
was
it was
weird.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, I understand, right? All right, if you want to overturn the win, fine, whatever. But the suing part, I think that was probably the strangest thing. That I don't know what their intention was with that, but there's no way that anybody could have thought that would have a positive outcome, win or lose the fucking lawsuit. I just don't see that.
They wrote a letter to YouTube saying to remove all content of that fight,
which is crazy, man.
They wanted to what's that Man in Black?
Yeah, they really did.
Sap everybody's memory. There's a Mandarin. What do you call Mandarin?
Is it Manchurian?
Manchurian. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Candidate?
When it's when you forget stuff and
I've heard of it.
Change?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to act like that fight never happened.
That's crazy, man. And I think that was strange behavior. Fuck it, run it back, dude. And now they are. So you're gonna run it back anyway. So why go through all that bullshit? You know what I'm saying? And now you have even more pressure because now you have to win that fight.
Is that fight going to take place at 40 or 47?
That's probably going to be at 47. There's no way. Yeah, probably 47. There's no way those guys are making. I'm surprised that Devin Haney's still fighting at 140, honestly. Yeah. He came in heavier than Ryan, I think, the night of the
day
fight.
Of the fight, yeah.
Which, the audacity. It's crazy, man. But I actually had a question because I know there was a few things that I wrote down here. But the one thing that I can remember right off the top of my head was when do you know it's time to give up on a fighter? How do you know it's not you just being stubborn, or that you're possibly going to give up on somebody who is like just right there?
Just right there to
fucking turn a new leaf. And how do you even know that? I ask myself this question all the fucking time.
That's the kind of question that fighters, I mean, when you see them getting hit by people they shouldn't get hit. Like, for example, I had a fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was 22 and like 2.
Yeah.
And the problem with him was he was always undisciplined. He could have been undefeated with the title.
Mm-hmm.
But he was undisciplined. And one day he was sparring with up-and-coming amateurs with like 17, 18 years old. And they were eating him up. I know sparring is sparring, but one day one of them cracked him and he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I got to have the conversation with this dude, man. Like, there's no fixing it. I think he's shot.
Right.
He's done. And the hardest part was to tell him that this is as far as we went.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, thank you for everything. And he went elsewhere. And I'm sorry, we're 22 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
He left and he had a couple losses after that.
Yeah.
And that hurt, watching a fighter that didn't respect what you told him.
Right.
And went elsewhere and thought he could do better.
Yeah.
And got killed.
That would have me questioning, whether he ever really had trust in you. You know what I'm saying? For him to be like, which on the other side, okay, I get it. Fuck it. I think I still got it.
I think it wasn't the trust. I think it's more that he believed in himself more than he really thought that he could do more. But he thought that what I told him was just me being like an asshole to him. And he was going to prove me wrong,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, good. I hope you do. I told him, I hope you do. He didn't say it in the wrong way. He goes, vas a ver, I can do it. I was like, all the power to you, mijo.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucked to see him get dropped.
Right.
I remember I just watched him on TV and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It hurts. But that's the only guy I had. Everybody else, we've had an agreement and we've talked. And like one kid came up to me and he told me, Coach, I don't feel like I have it anymore. And I thought he did.
Yeah.
But as soon as he told me he felt like he didn't have it anymore, I said, then we don't, because the biggest part is I need him.
Yes.
And I didn't have a Maggie at the gym at the time to help me with the mental strength of it. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
Why am I going to want to hold on to something that doesn't want to be around it?
Right. And I know I asked Devin the question last week when he was on the podcast, but to you, what's been the most challenging aspect of coaching fighters? I know he said it was mental and trying to pull fighters out of being complacent, pretty much along those lines.
With me, honestly, nothing of fight-wise.
Mm-hmm.
With me, more it's on the fights.
Mm-hmm.
When you have fights and they fall through, and the fighters, if not, I wouldn't train them.
Right.
There is always a fighter that gives you little obstacles. Like some fighters don't comprehend it quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't let it frustrate me. I got to just keep pushing it.
Finding a way
to get to them. But what bothers me the most is letting them know that they don't have a fight after all.
Oh, yeah.
That a fight fell through. Or
especially during their weight cut week. Yeah.
It's happened the day of the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened the day of.
Yeah, I remember.
And that's the hardest part for me. But training wise, no, because I have a certain expectation that I have from them. If they don't meet it, I won't train them. You could see there was a time where I had like 12 fighters and I let them all go.
Right.
I kept 4.
Right.
4 or 5, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. There's little things here and there. I can't do it.
And I know, right? But for those who are listening, what is one thing that, like, say, for example, somebody does come over to the gym, a pro already has whatever his fight record is, could be undefeated, could not be undefeated. But when you see him, what is something that sticks out to you and you're like, I'm down. Let's work together.
There's a look on certain fighters' eyes they have a look like, I don't know, it's like almost like a violent look to them,
mm-hmm.
but they're not mean.
Mm-hmm.
They just have that look to them, like they can see right through you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to describe it. It's just those kids that they grab something. Something about them grabs me.
Kind of like a mental grit.
And it's the mental strength that because like at the end of the day, everybody fights. It's the mentality that pulls you through it. Oh, we're talking about that. I was telling Maggie, there's a few names. I know there's a lot more guys, but I was like Roberto Duran, Manny Pacquiao, and I forgot who else I said. Oh, Aaron Pryor. If you see those three guys shadow box and hit the bags and warm up, and I'm a Duran fan, so don't jump on me. They don't look like your prototypical beautiful fighter. It's not the guy that you'd be like, damn, that guy looks fucking perfect,
Yeah.
They're off balance and they're doing all kinds of weird shit. Manny Pacquiao shooting over, throwing weird shots. But one thing those three guys had was mental strength.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking, is it better to be talented with skills or mental strength,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I would take mental strength over everything.
Mm-hmm. Championship mindset, man, to make it there and stay there.
But without the skills, because there's guys that have it with skills. Like the perfect example is Canelo, Mayweather, Ali. They had the mindset and the skills. Yeah. Those guys didn't have the skills.
Yeah. You have guys like Vaquero, right?
The mindset.
Yeah.
Lara. Yeah. Mindset. There's a lot of guys that have mindset. Then you have
Venado. Yeah.
Venado. Mindset. Yeah, they lost, but they became world champions.
Yeah.
They all were world champions. And most of those guys were beating fucking Olympians and studs.
Mm-hmm.
Divino.
Yeah.
Divino Spinoza. He fights like not your typical boxer.
Yeah. The style that works for him.
It's all about mindset. And then I don't know how you guys could prepare your mindset. You can work on your skills, and skills are good. But there comes a time where you're going to get tested in your mind. And that's where most fighters fold.
Most importantly, I think, is being aware. I remember Raquel asked me one time, what is the one thing I could, say that is very important in terms of sports psychology, right? And it is awareness. If you can become aware of the way that you're speaking to yourself, that can take you a long way. Yeah. Because knowing how to talk yourself, telling that voice, because we all have it, man. And I think that's what I like about all this YouTube shit and all that, is that you can now see a lot of interviews with fighters, and a lot of them are being very open with what they go through mentally. And we all have it. We all have that voice that's kind of like, I don't know if I got this, whatever negative shit that it wants to say. But knowing how keep repeatedly putting yourself in positions where you have to make yourself do shit in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish, that's just callousing the mind, right? So understanding and knowing how to overturn those negative thoughts and that negative voice that you have internally, I think that can go a long way, and I think you can learn how to combat that. Is it easy? No, but you also have to be very willing and take the initiative, right? And have the intention to be better and improve. Yeah. It's not just one day I learned how to do it and then I never got to do it again. No, it's you fucking constant.
Be aware and react, right?
Yes.
Be aware and act.
And act, exactly. Yeah. And it's constant. It's work. It's everyday work. It's not just this fight camp, I learned how to do it, and now next fight camp is going to be perfect. No, dude, you got to continuously do it.
Speaking of Raquel, women's boxing.
Yes.
May 17th.
May 17th.
I always bring them up because they're what those girls believed in us.
Yes.
First sponsor ever.
First sponsor ever. Thanks.
And they're going to have a show at the arena at May 17th.
May 17th.
I hope I'm right on the date.
Pink gloves. Yes, you are.
Pink guantes.
Pink guantes.
Come out and support all these females that are giving the sport their heart and soul.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely do. And I know it's not an easy thing to organize. So come out to the gym. Adam, I know he's going to plug it in. So hopefully you guys make it out there and check it out.
What fight do we have this weekend? You said we have a fight.
Yeah. This weekend.
Oh, it's all the young studs.
Yes, but
top rank.
Yes. But William Cepeda, Cameron Cepeda is fighting against Tevin Farmer.
Yeah. And that was a hard fight for him last time. It was
Murataya had a tough fight with him.
So did Cepeda. They fought before.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang. I didn't know that.
Tevin Farmer's putting it down, dog.
Dude, it's fuck, it's my last shot, homie. Let's go.
Tevin Farmer's been looking sharp, man.
Yeah.
All these young studs.
And you know what? I love that because the story ain't over until you say it's over.
It's over till you say it's over.
You know what I'm saying? And I think he's a perfect example of that. He lost to who? Jojo? The championship at 130, I believe. And he put up a fucking fight that decisively, hey, it could have gone either way against Munatai, who is one of the
best prospects, supposedly. I mean, he is. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he is. He's one of the best contenders, undefeated, in the division. So we'll see how Camarón handles that because he's surprised some people. He knocked out Cabrera, who gave Pitbull a very hard fight. So
Abdullah Mason fights. And
that's
my boy. I like that young man.
Yeah, I love watching that kid fight, man. I'm kind of bummed that he's not fighting Cabrera anymore, but he'll put on a show regardless.
He's fighting a guy from our stable.
That's right.
Not our stable, Jim, but our promotion.
Our promotion stable. What do you think about? Which I don't know if you wanted to. I know you wanted to shout out Flores Promotions.
Flores Boxing.
Yes. Because we're gonna have. Well, we can talk about the fights this weekend.
This weekend, yeah, our guys are fighting. As a matter of fact, Ulisa Sierra, Kyle Irwin, and Jose Cholet are all fighting. Just to stay busy.
Yeah.
Where Mr. Flores is helping us out, getting us busy, getting us going, and we're gonna be fighting it and see what happens in the future.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Yep.
3 guys on one card. A lot of people are like, oh man, that must be stressful. I actually kind of enjoy it. We're like, let's go back to back.
To rap, and then Maggie warms them up, and let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, it's exciting. So yeah, if anybody who is listening can come check it out, We're gonna put the poster up there again.
Who's fighting, man? You don't have my phone.
Brian Norman Jr.
Oh yeah, Cuevas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You wanna see?
No, that's it.
That was pretty much it. That's why
he's winning.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Cepeda. I think that he makes an adjustment with Tevin Farmer, but I won't be surprised if Farmer makes it a fucking war again.
Yeah, man. When did they fight? Am I tripping?
I don't know exactly. That's the last fight.
Oh, so this is a rematch?
Yeah.
Oh. I know. I was like, I know he fought him like recently, but I don't know. Whatever.
We'll enlighten you on that next week.
I'm uneducated now.
Hopefully we got good news next week with the boys. You guys, please like, share, subscribe, comment, por favor, and then anything that you guys think we should touch on, let us know. We'll talk about it.
Please do.
All right.
Write it down though, because I fucking forget. Because I know people come up to us all the time.
Yeah, they tell us in person, but they don't tell us on the
fucking. I'm not gonna fucking remember.
This has been a Point in Yo production. Yeah, I think the words, but sometimes they don't come out of my mouth no good.